Good afternoon, Antrim County. This is Veterans Voice Podcast with your hosts, Matt, Brandon, and Carrie. What's going on, guys?
Well, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. Just the schedule's not lining up, and, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sorry if you guys missed us.
We blame it all on Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
No, not.
She got them. Yeah, she got them shoulders. She'll take the weight.
I mean, they're huge.
What now?
My shoulders are huge.
The most dainty person in the office.
I'm a mess.
Well, I hope so. You guys.
But anyways,
It's definitely Friday.
you know,
Yeah,
it's
right.
mid-June and it's still like 60s out there.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
Work
no,
weather
it's
is
not.
better. You know, doing stuff out in the yard, you're not dying as bad, but
Yeah, I'd rather have it hotter out.
Finally got to mowing my lawn yesterday when I got to the house.
Oh, after all the yard cleanup?
After the baseball game, Mason's baseball game. And it's just the front yard. We still got probably about 6 trees that need to come down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. July 12th, I got somebody coming out to take 3 of them. You know.
Oh, good.
One of them just goes right across my neighbor's fence
Oh,
line.
yeah.
Like it just leans
Does
that
it
way.
really?
Yeah,
You know?
that gets a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last thing I need is for my insurance to have to go through it, you know?
right.
So, but
Yeah.
whatever. We'll get it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Done and over with now.
You ain't going to do anything else, but
Mhm.
cat claws.
There's one.
Was it kitten calendars? Right?
Hubba bubba.
No, that's Leslie. Leslie and her
Yeah.
cat
Well,
calendars.
I'm thinking like Transformers 2, where he sees like parts of the cube or whatever, right? Like he gets flashed by it, and then he has all the symbols in his head, and
Oh, yeah.
he
Oh,
moves
like
in with his
remembers.
college roommate and whatever. And he's making kitten calendars,
Mhm.
and he has that little breakdown. He's like kitten calendar.
I don't
forgot.
remember that.
I
at
completely
all.
forgot about that.
Wow.
So we have a cat claw in the office that Matt really likes being played with.
It's a little puppet
Especially
claw.
while I'm podcasting.
It will protect you.
Take him a strong paw. Oh, man.
What's happening?
But yeah,
Weekend's happening.
right. Speaking of, I mean, it is Father's Day weekend, so
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
everybody out there who is a father, or knows a father, tell them Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day from us.
Happy Father's Day.
Hope
Yep.
you guys all have a great weekend. Absolutely. You
Hope-
get too darn crazy on Father's Day, and you end up in the urgent care or something like that, or needing a ambulance ride,
Hopefully not.
and you have VA healthcare insurance. Yeah, you get that 72 hours to report. Make sure it's reported and get that authorization number or code.
Mhm.
And for anybody out there who does not know the phone number to report it to, that's 1-844-724-7842. All right, give that number a call day or night, and just make sure you're covered. Because if it goes beyond that 72 hours, the VA won't cover it.
Yep, the VA doesn't know about it.
And
They're
they're
not going to pay for it.
They're not very forgiving either
Yeah,
if you go past that time frame.
yeah.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we've dealt with a couple
Yeah.
coming in here and stuff like that missed that deadline, and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had one waived yet.
Right.
I'm not saying they
Right.
won't. I just haven't had it happen yet.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, though.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever had to deal with that so far, thankfully. But
Well, even if you go like to urgent care or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Well, I've gotten charged before when I was down in Florida. Had no clue about going to the emergency room and thing, and boom,
Yeah.
extra bill.
Yep. Not fun.
Mm-hmm.
no.
So.
yeah, that's been the topic of conversation. And then,
Mm-hmm.
Getting calendar.
calendars.
Yeah. Pay attention to the calendar.
Yes.
It's a good transition right there. Tax abatements.
Yeah.
Yes.
For
yes.
property tax.
That's another thing that's happened a couple times here.
Quite a few
More
this
than
week.
a couple. Yeah, we've had. So, if you're rated at 100% permanent and total,
Or at you.
or what did you say? IU?
Mm-hmm.
Say what that means, though, so people.
Individual unemployability.
If you're unemployable and you're rated at that 100% rate and you get, that individual unemployability, so you will go ahead.
Or
Brian.
surviving spouses.
Or surviving spouse
Awarded
of,
with DIC.
and you've been awarded DIC. You have to apply every year for tax abatement, which is the making sure that you do not have to pay property taxes on your main residence. Not all properties. Like if you have a piece of vacant land, you don't get it for that.
Or a business.
Or if you have a business on the property, even if it is your main home, you cannot claim it. So, and they will know. So, you need to fill out the form for that every year. We shared a link on our Facebook page today with an outline of the basic rules, but you can click on the link and it tells you, and it has the form.
Yep.
You are responsible for filling out that form every year. And each township,
Not
they
anymore.
may have changed it.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay.
One time.
You do it
You
one
just gotta
time?
fill it out one
That's
time.
right, because
No.
that just changed,
Mhm.
and we were kind of iffy on whether it
Nope.
kicked in. But you got to make sure you do it at least at first now.
Yep.
If you've never done it before and you got rated at 100% or IU. But there is a deadline for it to kick in for the year of, and if you miss that deadline, they're not going to give you the pay back. So make sure you stay up on your property taxes and
Yeah. And it,
file that form with your letter that you receive
what?
in November.
The tax abatement letter.
Your tax abatement letter.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That one.
You get it every November. Usually
You
the first
should.
week. Yep. And if you don't see it and you need it, come get it from us.
And make sure that your mailing address is updated with a
Yeah.
VA at all times, because
Yes.
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, if you're not seeing that letter come through, some point in December or November, that's the problem, is they have an outdated mailing address. So
Yeah, and I'm really glad that passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
So
one
they-
time. Most
Right.
states that do that tax abatement and stuff like that, they're all the same. They don't require you to do it every year.
Mhm.
Right.
mhm.
So this will be a lot less stress.
And then y'all know about the big thing that's gone on across the Google groups, has been the
plate.
the plate. Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm still
So
still
if
trying to
you're
figure that
if
out.
you're are rated 50% to 90, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can get a DV plate, a regular DV plate, which
Disabled veteran.
yep. Now you have to pay for it. You still have to pay for
Mm-hmm.
registration fees and everything like that, but it gives you the park pass for free, essentially, right? If you are 100% or rated at 100%, you get the DV plate that goes. It's like $5 first time of getting it, and then it renews for free every other time
Oh wow.
thereafter. And the plate's good for like 5 years each time.
But the 50 to 90% is not free.
No, you still have to pay that.
So, just so everybody's aware.
just-
You got to pay the road taxes, you know.
Yep.
I'm just wondering, because I got the Afghan campaign plate and stuff, and then I paid for the
Cat claw.
yeah, that's it. I paid for that, and then I paid for the pass. It's pretty much the same amount. You know what I mean? I think, isn't it?
I don't know.
Weird.
What's the pass now? It's like $20.
I think it's like
that's
15.
that's for the Michigan state parks, right?
Yeah,
Recreational.
Yeah, rec
Because
pass.
you get in the national parks free anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I went to Sleeping Bear Dunes and never knew that I could get in there for free.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Gate guard saw my hat and he's like, "Oh, you're vet. There you go.
Oh, yeah. They
I
just
still ain't
had a
been to
show.
there
No?
yet. No,
Really?
not
What?
yet. Yeah,
I dare you to go climb down that thing.
and climb down and climb up.
Go.
Both. Well,
Take-
you gotta climb up after you go climb down.
You know what?
Otherwise,
though?
it's gonna cost you $3,800 to get.
I'm
in.
about to say I seen those signs.
What you do is you go to the Cottonwood Trail. You go up the scenic parkway to the Cottonwood Trail. Park there, and then you go down, and then you have somebody drive your vehicle back to pick you up.
It's actually
Then you
not
don't
a
have to
bad
go
idea.
up it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, my dad did that with my sister years ago, and he said he was going to stroke out.
Really?
It's
it
a
deep?
lot. It is.
Takes
It's a
you
big climb.
It takes you a minute or so just to get down. You can literally fly down.
You can
Coming
end
back
up on
up.
your you can end up.
Well, it's all
feet
sugar
going-
sand, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're sinking as you go every time.
People
And then
do
you
it.
think you're at the top of it, and then there's another hill.
False
Yeah.
peak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, darn it. Way to eat your soul right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember that shit back
it's a
in the
good workout.
military.
Rangers lead
Just
the way.
eating your soul. Do whatever you can to toughen that up,
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fuck with your mind as much as possible.
And bring
Sure.
bring your desert goggles.
Sand, wind,
We
dust.
were there once, and it was blowing really like the wind
Painful.
was just whipping the sand in our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just depends on the day.
Getting flashbacks of sandstorms and stuff.
I was like, "Where's my bandana?"
The dust over there
It
was
was
a lot more
bad.
siltier, though.
Yeah, it was weird, different, but
Taste different.
so yeah. So what were we talking about?
You
So
taste
part-
sand?
Yeah, sandstorms. It gets all up in your nose, everything.
I guess
Computers.
everywhere.
I lost 2 laptops on that deployment just because of
What were you
sand.
saying
Oh,
was
really?
what were you
Yeah.
saying was like copper or that metal tinge taste? What was it?
That's
What
for
was
the
it?
Joe
Metallic. Metallic is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
That's
like,
for the Joe Rogan experience. Not here. Oh man,
Oh,
that's why I love this job, though. Honestly, it's the best.
we should get a coin dish in here.
Leave
The
a penny.
coin dish
Leave a penny.
Yeah, leave a penny.
for every time what?
I don't know.
Are we doing? I'm thinking like quarters. Is what I was thinking when you said that.
Yeah, quarters would be better. Yeah.
Like
You said around quarters, and are we gonna start taking shots as we do this? Is that what the deal is?
That would not be a good idea.
I mean, it'd be fun. We just never get it done.
Shots of water.
Right. Protein
I mean, we
drinks.
do
No,
have
it-
monsters. We got our fridge.
I'm about to
back
say
there
it'd be
now.
the caffeine, right? That we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we need
We
How
got
buzz-
monsters in the fridge right there.
How buzzed can we get with caffeine?
Oh,
Bouncing off the walls.
I drank like 2 monsters back to back one time and thought I was gonna die a little bit, but
Fuck that. No, I can't even drink a full energy drink.
not anymore.
No.
no.
Not anymore. I can only have like 2 cups of coffee now, and I'm like jittering all over the place. I can't do it.
I used to have those ephedrine pills when I was a kid. I'm not a kid.
We
a kid
back
young.
when they let you, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember I asked about it on the base at the military doctor. She's like, "No, this is just basically legalized speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I highly recommend that you quit taking this or using this." So I did. Yeah.
It's caffeine and ephedrine, right?
Yeah.
Ephedrine.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Strong
some work stuff.
though.
Get some work done with that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I
though.
did. I mean, I was sitting at my desk, stamping orders, looking up numbers.
I don't know how you did it. Well, and then what was the other thing that came up? We financial packets.
Oh yeah,
So,
financial aid.
yeah, we've had a lot
assistance.
of financial aid packets that we've been looking at, and
A lot of applications, at least.
a lot of applications. But we're gonna come on today and kind of explain the program and how it works, and basically what to expect from 2 programs that we run down here in the office. One is the County Veteran Relief Fund, and the second one is the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund. I'm keeping up on this. I'm going to ignore them. But yeah, the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund is where we emulate our County Veteran Relief Fund. This guy, I swear.
What is,
You good?
you gave him caffeine.
I
See, I
know.
told you.
You looked over just for the perfect fucking time. Like I was perfectly content in my own damn world, and
No, you weren't.
Just area.
He was just waiting for you.
But, so Michigan Veterans Trust Fund was created after World War II. There was $50 million set aside in an account, and it's been accruing interest since then. So it's for wartime veterans in Michigan. County Veteran Relief Fund is for peacetime veterans or wartime veterans. But basically,
They cover different things. Some are allowed with MVAA.
or 65 and older. Sorry. So if you
Yeah.
are a peacetime veteran and you're 65 and older, you can use MVTF. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah. Or if you turn
Terrible.
65 within that year, actually. Even if it's right before your birthday, it's okay.
Oh, really?
But
I
it's,
learned that.
But it's extremely limited to what
Yes,
you can use it
utilities, household like needs.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's true. But yeah, so the Michigan Veterans Trust Fund, it's basically, and the County Veteran Relief Fund, same thing. There has to be an emergent need that is unforeseen. And then by granting the one-time grant to you, it will absolve the situation where you won't have to keep coming back and asking for more help. Problem is that a lot of times we have a lot of repeats throughout the year and stuff like that, which is fine because things do happen. But the problem is getting the emergent need that's unforeseen sometimes.
Explaining it, like putting it down on paper so that way, Joe Slushy, 6 miles down the road could easily open up the packet and realize what the situation is and why it's necessary that a grant be given.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's each case is different too. They're not all the same. We've had a lot that'll come in, and the unforeseen emergency it's very clear that the person needs help.
Right.
But the problem is there's like too much assets. So there's you got $5,000 sitting in the bank, and you need help for a propane fill up or something like that. Unfortunately, we do understand that it is a emergent need that was unforeseen and stuff like that. But if you have that kind of money laying around, then it's going to be a little harder to get that approved through the board. You know what I mean?
It's going to be unlikely.
Well, yeah.
'Cause not.
I mean, especially if we did that with the propane, whatnot, Yeah. Even though, and we know that everybody, tries to keep hold of a healthy savings account at times.
Yep.
And we're specifically talking about this one right now. So that's why we'll continue with it. But, or they're saving up for, tax season.
Right.
Or they have a big bill that they know is going to come up here within a certain amount of time that they need to be prepared for. Some of that can be explained away, like through the writing, like you were talking about, but some of it they just won't even look at because they'll be like, well, you're saving up for this, that's in the future, your immediate need is now, kind of thing, Yeah. And trust me, Matt and I were talking earlier about this and what to say here. Because, one great example that you gave was like for brake pads, right?
Yep.
Something that is considered to be, routine maintenance on a vehicle and everything like that, right? And 9 times out of 10, if we put a packet forth, they're going to get denied. I mean, to be honest with you, that's not how it was, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was
different. It was a lot easier, a lot more accepting, and then they continually add more requirements. Funny thing, state, right?
Right.
But we talked about it. It was like, well, we can't really say that necessarily because it is such a situationally dependent, or the variables between each situation is so dynamic, that where it may fit with this one where, they are they live on Social Security, they're on a limited income, monthly income, a strict monthly income, right?
No.
And may not have the funds available at this point in time for brake pads or whatever, brake repairs. But if we sent that up to them, the likelihood is less likely than not that it'll get passed, or approved, or anything like that. And however, if you look at another scenario where they have some savings in their account, right? Well, they had savings in the account. Their statements are going to look at it, or is going to reflect it or whatnot. But we can explain that that's, maybe the family member had a hospital stay and, they had to spend it on that over that time,
Yeah.
Or the person, due to their health or, some variable within their life, they lost their job, or their income. Then MVTF's going to be more apt to pass that application.
Right.
Even though it's still considered a routine maintenance, it's just the situation that brought them there, right? And explaining it.
Exactly.
Because sometimes it's offsetting a bill that we can't help with, but we could help with the others like utilities and stuff like that.
Right.
But the MVTF program, they do want, 3 months of bank statements? So they will look and see now what's going on. And then, if you're saving for something else and you tell us you're about to go on vacation, but you want to get some, I don't know, that's not an emergent need. So we've had some different situations come up that we've had to explain the requirements or the emergent need.
Sometimes it's not clearly defined. And,
right.
And the other thing, too, is being prepared. So, if you call our office and you do need financial help and stuff like that, we're always willing to help, and we'll go the mile for you, definitely.
Yep.
We just ask that, depending on the certain circumstances, whether it's like, rent. If you're behind a rent, we're definitely going to need like the contract between you and your landlord. Or if you own, we're going to need a mortgage contract. If it's a housing-related grant. If it's a vehicle-related grant, we're going to need the registration, driver's license, and insurance and stuff like that that goes along with that. And then, of course, the 3 months' worth of bills and everything, or the 3 months' worth of bank statements and stuff like that, too. So,
so...
Killing me.
So, along with that, though, like, you were actually kind of skidding around it, too, is where, let's say we can't pay that exact bill for that veteran, this is something I can say MVTF is fairly decent at, is they will look and see exactly what bills they might be able to cover in order to help free up some cash for that veteran to pay the bill that they came in originally for.
Yeah.
And the board, they're good at like giving us advice. You just had one where she was giving you like 3 or 4 different things to go on. Hey, can we maybe pay this bill to offset this other one, or what I mean? Like,
we've had them offer without us asking to pay for like 3 months of car insurance for one, at least a couple veterans that I remember.
Yep.
Because they noticed that this person was definitely needing extra help, and they were trying to find what they could. So.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Another thing to take in mind with the program is, per category that they will award money for, there is a lifetime limit per veteran. That's something that, originally when I started first coming in here, they didn't necessarily have.
Yeah. What is it, 20,000?
Oh, man.
For a lifetime? It's pretty low.
No, I think it's lower than that.
I can't.
Might be 18 or...
Yeah, there's some stipulations in there.
And that's even if you apply for it and they deny it. So if you apply for 5,000 and they're like, nope, that counts towards your lifetime limit as application.
Yeah, no, I've had a couple MVTFs that have gotten spit back, and that was a big reason. One of them was, somebody that had come in before, and it was a big ticket number. And then he applied for 2 other ones, in a couple of years after that, and then because that put him over his thing. So,
Yeah.
So,
chicken.
I know, right?
Tenders.
Sounds good.
No, it's chicken banana. That's going around my house like crazy.
Banana.
What's that?
Chicken banana. Chicken banana.
Like
oh
that.
my God! Are
Is
you
it
giving me
kinda
a
like
TikTok?
Pineapple.
I've not.
Oh
seen that.
Lord, help me!
Is it like
I even got
peanut butter
Brooklyn.
jelly
I even
time?
got Brooklyn on it.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's literally it's yeah. Anyways, I'll show y'all later.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty dang cool. But okay, so for any kind of dental emergencies or anything like that, lifetime limit up to 10,000.
Okay.
Durable medical equipment, wheelchairs, air conditioners, eyeglasses, beds, scooters, up to 10,000. Emergency house repairs, 25,000 lifetime maximum. Emergency vehicle repairs / purchase, which I have not seen one of those go yet. But up to $10,000 maximum.
That's usually if they need something for disability.
You know?
Yeah, and it's
Not
funny.
just
You
like
you
a
said was
vehicle.
it 25,000 for home repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is like one of the hardest things, and I just want everybody to know that.
Roof repairs
Oh my
are not
gosh.
allowed.
Roofs.
After that storm, we've gotten inundated by
Nope.
lots of those, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where most of these roof repairs are going to start off at a minimum like 10 grand. You know,
And
Yeah.
you should have insurance.
28,000 for one, 15 for another one, and it's like that. A lot of the times we asked, "Have you used your insurance? Have you done anything like that?" And look, we had one guy where it's a pretty expensive bill, but it's the whole roof. It's not just a small
Yeah.
section. You know, if it was like a small patch or
like
something,
it was leaking from
That-
all the buildup.
that might be easier for MVTF possibly to do, but it's still a maintenance thing.
I never
Yeah.
heard
Comes
back
down
from
to
that gentleman. I
Yeah,
don't know what's.
Yeah.
we
how
tried.
Hopefully he's doing
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
And please, by all means, know that we in the office, we want to help you out regardless of the situation like that.
Yep.
Yep.
We are here, and we're going to do our darndest to write it up and present it in the best way and send it forth, and then be the best advocate for that packet and you. And once we write it up and we get all the supporting documents and we submit it, it's out of our hands though.
Yep.
At that point in time,
That was not our job to make the decision.
Yeah, and that's with anything in the office here. We don't make the decisions on it.
Nope.
We leave it to the state agency, our committee, or the federal VA.
Yep.
Yeah, but we do try to guide you, based on what we're telling you now. Like the maintenance thing for roofs, that if you applied for that through MVTF and it ended up being 15,000, they deny it because you insisted, even though we were trying. I mean, we try other ways too, but
Yep.
that would count against your MVTF balance lifetime limit. So, we tried to not harm you by putting in things that we know will probably get denied. So we'll try other routes first.
Exactly. That's
Yep.
where I was going with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like supposedly Habitat for Humanity, we haven't had much luck
Trying to
with
get a
that.
hold of
Yeah,
them.
Any luck
they're-
at all with that.
Yeah.
DHS was some of it through NMCAA, which is Northern Michigan
Community Action
Community Action Agency. Yes, and they go through DHHS, so they have applications for different home repair things that you can apply for. And as a veteran, it's like they have programs for veterans for those things too. I know one veteran had windows done.
Yep.
So there are options. At least we can try and figure out what to do.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we'll always know or get it, but try
And-
everything.
And a huge shout out to
Yes.
AMVETS.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
gonna say.
Both Elk Rapids, Central Lake,
Yep.
VIC.
VIC.
Veterans
Yep.
in crisis. Yep.
By all means, if you ever want to, donate or help out to a veteran, I would definitely go to one of those three
Yes.
entities and
Yeah.
make that out there, because they do use the funds and anything they can get, even with their own fundraising, in a positive manner for our veteran community. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They've
100%.
They've done so much when we couldn't use these specific grants because of the limitations and
Yep.
the requirements that they have to stick to. These guys all have given so much to veterans to help them out. Just no questions asked, pretty much. Just
And another one, Patriot Place, even though they don't
yeah.
necessarily help out with the funds or anything like that, but the fact that in Patriot Place is Gaylord, and it's meant for veterans who are experiencing homelessness or transitional housing. It's meant to bring them in and get them back on their feet, whether it's their health, their mental health, or their employment. I mean, they take it from a whole life approach with each single veteran. And we've had a couple vets within the last 6 months with totally different situations that I wouldn't even have thought, Patriot Place would have been a go for them because of this situation.
Yeah.
Man, Patriot Place jumped out of it and made it happen. They jumped out their
Right.
rear ends and got it
Yeah.
going.
sometimes it seems like we're just at a dead end, and we can only do so much. And then they helped.
Yeah.
They
they've
helped.
they've saved our bacon a couple times. It's
Just
and
these-
being able to partner with all the other people that are around, because everybody knows each other. it's smooth. most
Smell
of the
my
time.
arm.
I wouldn't know.
Pit.
It's not my fingers. It's just smell my arm.
Why am I doing that?
Me too.
I have trust issues when it
So
comes to
weird.
smell this real quick. No.
Smells good. You know what I'm saying? Is that Duke's body wash?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dukes. Not even going there.
Well, you know, they every time you buy from them, they donate to the it's either veterans or U.S. military. I can't remember,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cool.
but yeah.
I'll be darned.
And we were talking about donating. So,
Yeah.
have you donated yet, Matt?
Blood? A little bit. Yeah. No, if I'm going to give any money, though, Central Lake, AMVETS, Elk Rapids, AMVETS, Post, VIC,
Veterans.
I tell you,
Yeah.
all of them are, they're very active in our community,
They are.
and they're willing to go the mile. Thank
They
God.
literally drove some like food cards
Yeah.
from Meyer to one of our veterans that came to us after going to other places for help and didn't get what they needed. They were just in like shambles.
Yeah.
They drove that day, had somebody drive and bring them Meyer gift cards to get food. What are you doing?
I don't know.
And, I mean, that's just
Messing
an
my
example.
audio up.
That was last year, the year before.
Yeah, it was last year.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
though.
drove all the way in
I
from
mean,
Traverse City just
yeah.
to.
That's
all the
really
way
awesome.
out, all the way
Yep.
out to this person, and
That's
like,
that's
this-
going way above and beyond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that they're helping us is great, and then to be able to do that, it just,
Yeah.
that blew me away.
And the networks that they have, you
Yes.
know, within each one of them. Remember, we were helping a couple years back a veteran who needed help with subflooring and plumbing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Well, we got the subflooring put in, and the plumbing though, we were calling around to plumbers and we couldn't find anyone to go out there within any kind of real short time frame or anything like that.
Yeah.
And got a hold of AMVETS and they were like, hey, you know, I know this guy, and
Yep.
the very next day out there.
He's out there and it's cool too. He's actually showing the veteran what he was doing, so the veteran was learning some stuff too at
Yeah.
the same time, which was really cool.
Yeah. And I don't want to say they did that on donation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm
They
pretty
did.
sure.
He donated his time and
Wow.
everything. But you know how plumbing HVAC stuff is expensive, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've helped veterans get new septic systems and
Mhm.
wells and stuff, and some of these well companies and everything, they're really
Yeah.
great too, and they'll give a discount because they're a veteran, which even if it's granted, you know, by
Yep.
the grant funding, they still give that discount. So
which is good, you
there's a
know.
lot of good places that we can always try to figure out a way, at least.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got 3 heads, so one way or another, it's like one of us like is like, God, I'm having a tough time trying to figure this one out, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, one of you guys will step in and be like, Hey, have you thought about this? And you're like, Oh, didn't even think about that, but
Mm.
Yep.
Mhm.
that's how we win.
That's why it's a team, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So we utilize our resources, and it ain't just the ones that are in the office either.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. We even talk with like Jess and Jeff up in Emmett County.
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
We brainstorm with them a lot. It's nice to have that good rapport with other VSOs, and
Yeah.
you know,
And it
it's
helps our
nice-
network, you know.
Yeah, it's nice because we're here to help veterans, not ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nice to have that backup
Yep.
for sure.
Family.
Hmm.
Well, what do you guys think? It's
What else
Friday?
we got? It's Friday, so it's Father's Day.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to the fathers.
Yeah. Everybody out there.
Safety brief.
Right?
Yeah, check yourself for ticks.
Yes.
They are
They're
bad.
I'm
bad,
not going to lie.
bad.
When I texted y'all the other day, I was not lying about that. Even was telling another vet about that. I couldn't believe that
Yeah.
I had one on me all day long in this office. And then,
We were talking about it because my daughter had one on her neck.
it was a male tick. I found out. It's
Huh?
kind of.
How do you?
This is
know
just a
that?
joke, by the way. But the female ticks are the ones that suck blood, coincidentally.
I'm gonna get throat punched.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the male ticks are not the ones that they only take a little bit.
What do
just
they
to
do?
get
Just
by.
bite or something?
Bite and take a little bit of blood, but it's just to survive.
No, I
The
think
females
this
are the
is
ones
a-
that need it for all their eggs and stuff.
I think it just depends on the disorder of the tick, not the gender.
The disorder. I have no idea. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I don't
just-
even know
I'm-
if
I'm
I don't
just
even know how to
messing
tell if it's a boy or a girl or what.
I
It's
just learned that this week, so I'm about ticked out. They're all over.
Nope. I don't want to know about them. I just want them to stay off.
It's like the mousses and
Oh, how they
The
attack the
UP.
moose.
Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
The DNR of state of Michigan has been flying drones all over the northern upper peninsula. I guess that's where it is, duh.
The winter
And,
ticks, they said, or they call them, right?
Yeah, something crazy, but they stay on the host its whole life. And so these ticks are like getting on all these moose, and they're basically laying down because they're being sucked dry, and they're just covered. Like you
No
can
shit.
actually
Disgusting.
see them from the drones. That's how many thousands upon thousands. Of them.
Sad.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, I sat there and talk crap about Florida and the love bugs and the roaches and stuff. But honestly,
They're not trying to.
they're not
do
trying
that.
to suck your blood.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
never-
Yeah.
That was a
Be
wormhole.
careful. Yeah. Be careful, everybody.
Yeah, but enjoy the weather out. So nice out. Not
Yeah,
too
I hope
hot.
so. I hope it'll get nicer. It's been very slow.
We need
to
some
warm
80-degree weather is what we need.
Yes, I
Right.
agree. I agree.
Is the water even warm?
It's all right, but
Really?
but when it's not, yeah, over in in Elk Rapids in the bay, right in there, it's warmer than it would be out farther.
Yeah.
So it just depends where you're at. I think Torch is probably fine.
Good point.
So it's about time to
those
start
lakes.
getting out there then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
usually
we gotta start
like
practicing here.
usually we've been swimming for like a month by now, but this year,
Yeah.
We got.
it's been cold.
Was it? Are we paddle Antrim, right?
I don't know yet.
Okay,
Got to start practicing for that sucker.
for kayaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, again, happy Father's Day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Father's Day. Good
Appreciate
weekend.
you guys, and we will see you next week.